The grand traditions of the British summer calendar have always been defined by an unyielding dedication to elegance, history, and a meticulous adherence to protocol that has survived for generations. From the sweeping lawns of royal garden parties to the high-stakes drama of prestigious sporting arenas, the public figures who inhabit these spaces are expected to maintain an aura of absolute perfection, regardless of the shifting elements around them. For decades, the world has watched as members of the royal family navigate these highly publicized appearances with a seamless grace, rarely showing even a hint of discomfort under the intense gaze of global media and thousands of spectators. Every garment is chosen with deliberate care, every greeting is carefully measured, and every movement is analyzed by observers seeking a glimpse into the private realities of those who bear the weight of historical legacy. Yet beneath this flawless exterior lies a very human reality. One where the physical demands of long public engagements must be balanced against the rigid expectations of tradition, decorum, and strict societal dress codes. As the summer months bring soaring temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns, the challenge of maintaining this impeccable facade becomes infinitely more complex, transforming ordinary public appearances into true tests of endurance and poise. Before we delve deeper into how these public figures handle the unexpected challenges of the season, take a moment to become a part of our community by subscribing to our channel so you never miss an inside look into these fascinating stories. This intersection of unyielding tradition and unpredictable reality is perhaps nowhere more visible than at the historic grounds of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, an institution where heritage is woven into every single blade of grass. For over a century, this iconic venue has hosted championships that attract not only the world's finest athletes, but also an array of high society guests, international celebrities, and senior members of the royal family who gather in the exclusive confines of the royal box. The atmosphere within this legendary enclosure is governed by a set of standards that are as legendary as the matches played on the courts below, requiring attendees to present themselves in a manner that reflects the profound gravity of the occasion. For women attending the event, these expectations manifest in a series of unspoken and spoken rules that prohibit certain articles of clothing and accessories, creating a unique paradox where style must be preserved even when environmental conditions become exceptionally challenging. The ban on hats within certain areas, designed to ensure that every spectator enjoys an unobstructed view of the sporting action, forces attendees to find alternative ways to navigate the brilliant sunshine and rising heat that often characterize the height of the championship season. It is within this arena of heightened visibility and strict decorum that the true character of public figures is often revealed. As they balance their formal duties with the practical necessities of everyday human comfort, the sheer scale of these summer events requires an extraordinary level of preparation, not just from the organizers and athletes, but from the high-profile guests who must remain in the public eye for hours at a time without losing their composure. Observers often marvel at the ability of these individuals to appear completely unaffected by the grueling conditions, as they engage in a continuous cycle of formal introductions, charitable meetings, and enthusiastic spectatorship. The preparation behind a single day in the royal box involves a massive network of aides, designers, and organizers, all working in unison to ensure that every detail aligns with the required standards of the historic institution. From the precise shade of a custom-designed dress to the coordination of arrivals and departures, nothing is left to chance. Yet the one element that remains entirely outside of human control is the weather. When an unprecedented heatwave sweeps across the country, transforming the lush green landscapes into sweltering epicenters of humidity and intense sunlight, even the most meticulously planned schedules and outfits are subjected to an extraordinary strain. The tension between the desire to honor long-standing traditions and the immediate, visceral need for physical relief creates a subtle, fascinating undercurrent that sharpens the intrigue surrounding these historic summer gatherings as the championships progress into their crucial later stages. The intensity of the competition on the courts is mirrored by the rising energy in the stands, where the crowd remains fiercely dedicated to capturing every moment of history in the making. For the distinguished guests seated front and center, the experience is a delicate dance of maintaining high visibility while genuinely absorbing the magnificent athletic feats unfolding before them. The media presence at these events is monumental, with hundreds of cameras capturing every micro-expression, every subtle gesture, and every brief conversation that takes place between the matches. This level of scrutiny means that any departure from the expected norm, no matter how small or practical, immediately becomes a subject of intense fascination for millions of viewers worldwide who closely follow the proceedings. The public's relationship with these figures is deeply rooted in a desire to find moments of relatability amidst the grandeur, searching for those brief instances where the barrier between ordinary life and royal duty seems to dissolve. It is this exact dynamic that elevates a standard day of sporting observation into a narrative filled with atmosphere, anticipation, and a growing curiosity about how the individuals in the spotlight will choose to adapt to the mounting pressures of the day. The historical relationship between the British monarchy and the great sporting institutions of the realm has always been marked by mutual respect and shared celebration, creating a seasonal rhythm that the public looks forward to each year. These appearances are not merely recreational. They serve as vital points of connection, where the Crown honors excellence, engages with community leaders, and supports charitable endeavors that operate alongside the main events. The individuals who represent the institution at these gatherings carry a profound responsibility to project warmth, stability, and enthusiasm, regardless of any personal fatigue or challenging external circumstances. As the afternoon sun reaches its zenith, casting a brilliant and unforgiving light over the historic venue, the atmosphere thickens with a palpable sense of anticipation, setting the stage for a sequence of events that would quietly challenge the conventional boundaries of royal presentation. The unfolding story of this particular summer day becomes a testament to the modern evolution of public roles, where practicality and a touch of independent spirit can seamlessly coexist with the grandest traditions of the past, leaving an indelible impression on all who witness the subtle shifts in the afternoon air. The soaring temperatures that defined the 10th day of the prestigious championship season brought an unexpected level of intensity to the historic grounds of SW19, testing the resolve of even the most seasoned spectators. As the thermometer climbed to a sweltering 32 degrees Celsius, the radiant heat reflecting off the pristine courts created a demanding environment within the packed stands, turning the focus of many toward the simple challenge of staying cool. Seated front and center in the exclusive confines of the royal box, Queen Camilla found herself navigating these challenging conditions alongside her sister Annabel Elliot and the newly married couple Peter and Harriet Phillips. Dressed in an elegant cerulean Anna Valentine dress, the exact same ensemble she had previously chosen for her high-profile appearance at the Royal Ascot races just 1 month prior, the Queen initially maintained her characteristic composure, greeting officials and spectators with a warm and welcoming smile. Despite the unforgiving sunshine pouring down upon the uncovered portions of the stadium, her spirits appeared completely unaffected as she dedicated her full attention to the grand sporting event unfolding before her. However, as the afternoon progressed and the ambient heat continued to intensify, the limitations of traditional court decorum became increasingly apparent, setting the stage for a remarkably practical solution to an overwhelming environmental problem before the main athletic events of the afternoon commenced. The Queen spent considerable time engaging with a variety of individuals who contribute to the vibrant life and rich operations of the tournament. She shared a warm and animated greeting with former British #1 tennis star Heather Watson, discussing the trajectory of the sport and the unique pressures faced by modern competitors on these historic courts. Camilla also took a moment to speak directly with 15-year-old ball boy Zebedee and 15-year-old ball girl Ania, praising their precision, speed, and dedication to maintaining the seamless flow of the matches under such grueling weather conditions. Her conversations extended to the veteran staff members who formed the backbone of the club's enduring success, including Morag Ranford, who was celebrating an extraordinary milestone of 50 years working within the press operations team, capturing and sharing the stories of the tournament with the wider world. The Queen also extended her deepest gratitude to Pete Dobson, the dedicated safety officer who was preparing to retire after 25 years of ensuring the security and well-being of the thousands of fans who pass through the gates each summer. Furthermore, she met with Richard Gamage, the Chief Executive Officer of City Harvest, a prominent charity actively working to tackle food waste and support sustainable initiatives throughout the duration of this year's massive sporting event, amidst these formal duties and meaningful interactions. The heat continued to mount, forcing those in the royal box to seek immediate relief from the suffocating air. Earlier in the day, the Queen had been spotted utilizing a traditional, beautifully crafted handheld folding fan, moving it gracefully in an initial attempt to stir the stagnant air and find a momentary reprieve from the rising humidity. This classic accessory, while perfectly aligned with the historical aesthetic expectations of a royal appearance, ultimately proved insufficient against the unrelenting 32-degree heatwave that was rapidly blanketing the entire stadium. Recognizing the need for a more effective and reliable solution, Camilla made a surprisingly modern choice, reaching into her personal belongings to pull out a compact white electric handheld fan. This small battery-operated device quickly became her constant companion as she watched the matches, providing a consistent stream of cool air that allowed her to maintain her focus and comfort throughout the long afternoon. The sight of a senior member of the royal family openly relying on a modern electronic gadget inside the highly traditional royal box immediately caught the attention of sharp-eyed onlookers, triggering a wave of interest and discussion across various media platforms. The decision to utilize a portable electric fan was particularly notable given the exceptionally strict dress code requirements that govern attendance within the most prestigious enclosures of Wimbledon. These long-standing rules explicitly forbid women from wearing hats, a directive designed to prevent any obstruction of the view for the spectators seated directly behind them, which inadvertently removes one of the most effective traditional methods for blocking the direct rays of the sun. Additionally, the dress code maintains rigid standards regarding the length and style of garments, prohibiting any items of clothing that fall above the knee, thereby limiting the ability of guests to adapt their attire to extreme summer temperatures. Because these institutional mandates leave very little room for personal adjustments to combat the heat, the Queen's practical reliance on a handheld electronic device was viewed by many as a masterclass in modern adaptation. Rather than suffering in silence to preserve an outdated image of untouchable perfection, she chose a realistic and accessible approach to self-care, demonstrating a refreshing level of independence that resonated deeply with the contemporary public. As images of the Queen using the white device began to circulate globally, royal enthusiasts and social media users quickly began to analyze the specific details of her chosen accessory, expecting it to be a luxury item. However, an analysis of the branding visible on the back of the device revealed that Her Majesty had opted for a remarkably budget-friendly consumer product rather than an exclusive custom-made luxury piece. The item in question was identified as a standard TechNet handheld fan sourced directly from Amazon, retailing at the highly appealing and modest price of just £14.24. This specific model features 5 distinct airspeed settings, allowing the user to precisely calibrate the airflow to match their immediate comfort needs, and is widely available to the general public in alternative stylish colors such as khaki and pink. The revelation that the Queen of the United Kingdom relies on the exact same affordable, mass-market technology as millions of ordinary citizens sparked a wave of affectionate commentary online, with users praising her grounded approach to solving an everyday problem. One commentator noted on social media that Her Majesty was clearly struggling in the intense heat and wished her well, while another humorously declared that they would have brought multiple fans to survive the day. And a third quipped that Camilla perfectly represented the practical mindset of women navigating the challenges of warmer weather. This pragmatic approach to enduring the British summer heat is not entirely isolated within the modern royal household, as other senior figures have recently been observed adopting similar sensible measures during major public engagements. Just last month, during a formal afternoon reception hosted within the historic walls of St. James's Palace, a senior royal aide was seen providing a similar cooling solution for King Charles III, while the monarch was actively mingling with an array of distinguished guests. His retired Vice Admiral, Tony Johnstone-Burt, was spotted holding a small, portable electric fan close to the king to help him manage the oppressive conditions of the hottest June on record. Because St. James's Palace lacks modern air conditioning systems and the king was required by protocol to remain dressed in a heavy, formal tailored suit, the sweltering 35-degree indoor temperatures presented a significant physical challenge. The sight of a dedicated military aide hovering nearby with a small plastic fan offered a vivid illustration of how the contemporary monarchy must balance the immense dignity of their ancient offices with the stark, practical realities of biological comfort during an era of changing global weather patterns. For Queen Camilla at SW19, her trusty electronic fan served as a vital tool of light relief, ensuring that her energy and enthusiasm remained completely undiminished as she immersed herself in the unfolding athletic drama. The memorable scene of Queen Camilla, balancing traditional expectations with a highly practical handheld device at the championships, serves as a vivid illustration of how the modern monarchy continues to evolve in full view of the public. This willingness to embrace accessible solutions under pressure reflects a broader trend of transparency and relatability that has come to define her contemporary public role, allowing the public to see the real human behind the grand titles and historical duties. Far from being an isolated moment of light-hearted relief, her day at the tournament was enriched by the presence of close family members and an array of fascinating encounters that highlighted both the personal and institutional connections of the royal house. Sitting beside the Queen in the prominent enclosure was her younger sister Annabel Elliot, who chose to mirror the classic aesthetic of the tournament by wearing an elegant, crisp ivory frock that perfectly channeled the timeless tradition of tennis whites. The close bond between the two sisters has long been a source of strength for the Queen, and their shared enthusiasm for the sporting action was evident as they engaged in animated conversation between sets, adding a warm, familial atmosphere to the high society gathering. Royal Central further, enriching the royal contingent within the box, were the newlyweds Peter Phillips and his wife Harriet Phillips, whose stylish appearance added a distinct touch of contemporary glamour to the historic venue. Peter Phillips, the son of Princess Anne and the eldest grandchild of the late Queen Elizabeth, looked exceptionally dapper in a carefully tailored light grey blazer paired with sharp navy trousers, embodying a classic British sartorial elegance. His wife Harriet, 45, captured the attention of fashion enthusiasts globally by stunning in a sophisticated £1,330 checked lime and blue ensemble designed by the renowned fashion house Emilia Wickstead. The couple's presence alongside the Queen highlighted the multi-generational support that defines major royal appearances, demonstrating how the extended family continues to champion the cultural and sporting landmarks of the nation. As the afternoon progressed and the sweltering heatwave tested the endurance of every spectator, the group remained fully engaged in the electric atmosphere, displaying a collective poise that mirrored the legendary resilience of the institution they represent. Royal Central beyond the elegant confines of the viewing box, the day was marked by an extraordinary spontaneous interaction that provided one of the most heartwarming highlights of the entire tournament for the home crowd. As the young British wildcard tennis player Arthur Feri was preparing to enter the legendary centre court for what would become the biggest and most significant match of his career, he received a completely unexpected royal blessing. The 23-year-old athlete appeared to be completely focused on his pre-match routine, leaning down to carefully tie his shoelaces alongside his formidable opponent, the Italian ninth seed Flavio Cobolli, in the quiet corridor of the player's entrance. Suddenly, Queen Camilla walked up quietly behind the focused competitors, catching the young Briton completely by surprise as he stood up and turned around to face the monarch. With great warmth and an encouraging smile, the Queen reached out to shake his hand, wishing him the best of luck on the historic court, prompting a breathless and polite response from the breakout star, who expressed how nice it was to meet her. This brief, powerful moment of encouragement seemed to carry an immense symbolic weight, signaling the deep investment of the royal family in the success and development of young British sporting talent on the international stage. Flashscore.com is show 2. The royal blessing proved to be a spectacular catalyst for what sports commentators immediately dubbed a true fairy tale run, as Arthur Feri proceeded to deliver the finest and most clinical performance of his young professional career. Defying his world ranking of 114, the hometown hero managed to sweep the top 10 opponent aside in a stunning straight sets victory that sent a wave of ecstatic celebration through the feverish home crowd. Feri's ice-cold temperament in the murderous mid-afternoon sun allowed him to outmaneuver the French Open runner-up, securing a monumental triumph that guaranteed him a historic spot in the prestigious tournament semi-finals. Following the conclusion of the match, the Queen was waiting in person to congratulate the breathless athlete once again, creating a memorable exchange where Feri shared that his upcoming 24th birthday would fall exactly on the day of the men's singles final. This incredible intersection of youthful athletic ambition, historic achievement, and gracious royal recognition perfectly captured the magical, unpredictable essence that makes the Summer Championship such a beloved staple of global sporting culture. Olympics.com is show 1. This high-profile appearance at the tennis championships was part of an exceptionally busy and diverse schedule for Queen Camilla, who had spent the earlier portion of the week engaging in a series of deeply meaningful community visits across East Sussex. Demonstrating her lifelong dedication to literature and education, the Queen travelled to the historic Ashdown Forest near Hartfield to officially commemorate the historic centenary of one of the world's most cherished literary masterpieces. The sprawling ancient woodland served as the original real-world inspiration for the legendary 100-acre wood created by author A. Milne for his timeless publication, Winnie the Pooh, which first captured the hearts of readers globally in 1926. Operating in her proud capacity as the official patron of the Royal Literary Fund, the Queen spent hours exploring the scenic landscape, interacting warmly with local volunteers, dedicated forest staff, and excited school children from Ashdown Primary School who gathered to celebrate the enduring magic of the children's classic. Her Majesty officially unveiled a brand new all-weather walking trail named the Queen's Walk, designed to provide easier, universal access to the forest for future generations of families wishing to discover the real-life home of their favourite fictional characters. The Argus Eschyos, too, the celebration of what the Queen beautifully described as a universal hero, was further elevated by a series of traditional, nostalgic activities that connected the royal visitor directly to the heart of the literary legend. Alongside the renowned children's author Dame Julia Donaldson and a group of young national poetry competition winners, Camilla visited the iconic Pook Sticks Bridge to participate in a traditional light-hearted game of dropping sticks into the flowing river below. She also made a poignant journey to the Enchanted Place, a famous location within the woodland, where Christopher Robin says his final goodbye to his animal friends, taking a quiet moment to pay her deepest respects at a dedicated memorial honouring A. Milne and the brilliant illustrator E. H. Shepard. This profound engagement with the literary heritage of the region underscored a powerful institutional connection. As over £91 million has been generated from the Milne estate for the Royal Literary Fund since 1972, directly supporting vital grants, educational initiatives, and outreach programs for professional writers across the country. Ashdown Radio Issue 1. The Queen's journey through East Sussex also took a deeply personal and nostalgic turn as she travelled to the historic village of Plumpton, the beloved rural area where she was raised and spent her formative childhood years. In a wonderful, unannounced departure from formal protocol that delighted the entire community, the 78-year-old monarch decided to drop in for a quiet lunch at the Half Moon Pub, a classic British establishment known for serving traditional pub staples while doubling as a local campsite. The sudden arrival of the royal visitor created an immense buzz of excitement throughout the village, especially after a police motorbike temporarily halted local traffic just outside the venue, prompting sharp-eyed residents to realize that someone truly extraordinary was arriving. Dressed in a beautiful bottle green floral dress that perfectly matched the rustic charm of the countryside, the Queen spent time chatting warmly with the staff, smiling broadly for photographs, and reconnecting with the landscapes of her youth, which included her nearby childhood home, the Lanes. A grand 7-bedroom property she has previously described as being perfect in every way. The reaction from the local community and the wider public to this spontaneous, grounded visit was overwhelmingly affectionate, with people taking to social media platforms to praise the Queen's warm personality, approachable nature, and enduring connection to her roots. The establishment's official social media page shared a delightful post expressing their absolute honour at welcoming Her Majesty for lunch, describing her as a real character and an incredibly lovely lady who brought immense joy to the entire team. Local residents echoed these sentiments, with many expressing their excitement at seeing the royal helicopter touch down in a nearby college field, marking a triumphant and nostalgic homecoming for a woman who now occupies the highest position in the realm. From the sweltering, high-stakes atmosphere of the Wimbledon Royal Box to the quiet, sun-dappled paths of the real-life hundred-acre wood and the cosy tables of a village pub, Queen Camilla's actions throughout this remarkable week showcased a modern, highly relatable approach to royal duty, proving that true elegance lies in the ability to balance grand historic traditions with a genuine, authentic humanity.